Hello, my name is Carson Jessup, and today I will be talking about image sizing and compression. So what is image compression? The website techtarget.com defines image compression as a process applied to a graphics file to minimize its size in bytes without degrading image quality below an acceptable threshold. By reducing the file size, more images can be stored in a given amount of disk or memory space. The image also requires less bandwidth when being transmitted over the internet or downloaded from a web page, reducing network congestion and speeding up content delivery. So let's break that down a little bit. It brings down the file size so that we can store more on our devices and so it doesn't clog up our memory. And it does this without really degrading the quality. Now, some compression types do bring down the quality a bit more than others, but we will talk about that. And as it brings the size down, this makes it easier to send and receive content over the internet. There are two types of compression. There's lossy and lossless. So lossless removes data from the file, from the image, but that's not necessarily bad. It just removes data that is not needed. So it keeps the image or the file the exact same, but it doesn't remove any important data. Just takes away the things that it doesn't need so that it can bring the file down. Lossy removes some colors and other data from the file so that it can bring the size down. This generally only removes colors that we can't see, so it doesn't make too much of a difference, but it can also decrease the quality of the image. Then we have how these images are made. There's vector and there's raster. So vector is created using math. This makes it so that you can change the size of the image without bringing down the quality. So if you blow up the image real big with a vector image, it won't look grainy because of the way it's made. With a raster file, it will, if you zoom in, it'll be a bit grainy. So it looks really great at the size that it was intended to be, but when you blow it up, it can look grainy. If you want to know which is which, like I said, just blow up the image. If it's grainy, it's a raster file. If it looks great when it's really blown up, it'll be a vector. So what are the different file types? The five most common file types are ones that we've probably all heard of, at least most of us. There's JPEG, GIF, WebP, SVG, and PNG. So let's talk about all those. So JPEG is the most popular file type. The small file sizes make them easy to share and provide fast access for viewing online. And JPEGs are supported on all browsers, which is one of the reasons why they're really popular. The file type can be both lossless and lossy. So as you can see in the graphic there, JPEG, though they are very popular, they can be a bit grainy. So when you zoom in, the image quality might not be the best. We then have GIFs. They're a popular file type online because they support basic animation, and they are both lossy and lossless as well. We see these a lot in memes and messaging, and they're probably the most used in our daily lives. Next, we have WebP. So these are lossy and lossless files. The lossless WebP files are 26% smaller than PNGs, which is great, and the lossy images are 25 to 34% smaller than JPEGs. Due to their small size, they load faster, and they're great for sending. They do have a drawback, though, and that is that they're not supported by Safari. So if you're on a website that uses a WebP file, it won't pull up the image, so you won't be able to see that. One of the major drawbacks there. An SVG file generally used for logos and graphics. Um, and they are created using vector. So when you blow up an image, it's not going to change the quality. It'll stay great no matter what size it is, and it is also supported on all browsers. PNG, they are limited to 256 colors, which is a bit of a drawback, but they're good for graphics with few colors, and they can be transparent. So transparent is what's that first top graphic there, that black and or excuse me, the white and gray checkered. A good example of that is the second graphic down there. The PNG Chrome graphic doesn't have a background, so it just blends nicely with that gray background. The JPEG file, though, does have a white background, and so you see that white box around it. Like I said, they're most commonly used for logos, graphics, and charts, and they are lossless. So what file type is the best? In my opinion, I would say WebP is the best overall, but it is a little bit difficult to use them just due to their lack of support on Safari. But after their compression, they are very small and the quality is still really good. But it really just depends on your need and what you're using the file for. Is there a worse type of file? I wouldn't say there's a worse type. We all have different needs, and each file type is used for something different. So just to review, um, JPEG files, they are both lossy and lossless, but they don't have transparency or animation. PNG is lossless, and they have transparency. WebP, they're lossy and lossless as well. They have transparency and animation, but they aren't compatible with the Safari browser. SVG is lossless, transparent, and they support animation. And then the GIFs, they're lossy, lossless. They have transparency and animation. So yeah, that is it. That is all you need to know about the sizing and compression.